In entertainment news, the U.S. rapper and music mogul Diddy Combs has been found guilty of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, but not guilty of the most serious charges against him. The transportation convictions carry a maximum sentence of 10 years. They relate to 2 of his former girlfriends. Both testified to having been physically and sexually abused by Combs. Well, the verdict is being seen as a partial victory for both the prosecution and the defense.
All right, for more on Diddy Combs' verdict, Arise correspondent Kachofia joins us now. Kach, are you there? It's good to have you. Yes, there you are. So Diddy has been denied bail. Would you say the celebration from his family and supporters came too soon? And was this verdict really expected?
Well, yes, celebration definitely came too soon. This denial just came in barely a few minutes ago, at the top of the hour, as a matter of fact. The judge decided that Diddy was, in fact, possibly going to be a risk to the people, the witnesses who had testified in this case, including Cassie Ventura, amongst other people, that had specifically talked about their experiences with Diddy Combs at different points in time. Now, when this case started earlier today, the judge giving Diddy's verdict, it was understood that he had the possibility of going home. There was an understanding that he may have been able to go home today. But of course, we've seen now that that is not going to be happening, and that celebration came in too soon.
Well, this has been described as partial victory for the prosecution because it's charges on the lesser convictions. What can we expect to see as Diddy hopes to go home?
Now, in total, there were 5 different counts, but I would say they bordered on 3 separate issues. Number 1, sex trafficking. Number 2, racketeering. And number 3, transportation for prostitution. Now, when they say the lesser counts, they're referring to the fact that Diddy was only found guilty as it pertained to transporting women across state lines for prostitution. But with regards to proving sexual trafficking, that is for Cassie Ventura and the woman who was referred to as Jane Doe, he was found not guilty. And another very, very important case with regards to racketeering conspiracy, he was equally found not guilty on that as well. So those 2 lesser charges cumulatively carry sentences for 20 years. We could see Diddy taking between 5 to 10 years in total, according to legal advice that have been put out, and several speculations across these issues. So it's hard to say this is even a win for Diddy because at the end of the day, he will still end up behind bars. But with regards to the barrage of civil cases, which really border on sex trafficking and sexual assault, if he has been found not guilty in this federal case, is yet to be seen like what the likes of Tony Busby, the lawyer who is in charge of at least 80 of these charges, would be able to do with the civil cases that are still pending at this time.
Yes, indeed, and Combs' lawyers argue that 2 years really would be the outer limit. But how are people taking this? Me Too movement, for example. I mean, how are, people reacting to this verdict? Are they taking it well?
Well, in all honesty, Diddy was tried in the court of public opinion before the case even began, with a lot of videos on social media tilting to his personal life, the baby oils and the freak-off parties. But as we've seen with this judgment, those elements really had nothing to do with the eventual cases and issues that he was found guilty on. The court of public opinion definitely sides with the likes of the victims, Cassie Ventura, Jane Doe, because in cases like this, it reaffirms the fear that a lot of victims have when it comes to coming forward and speaking up about issues like this. With regards to Diddy being denied bail, it even speaks to that issue as well, because Cassie Ventura did say she was scared for her life if Diddy was put out on bail because she literally just dragged him to court and maimed him, put down the issues that maimed him and eventually got him found on those 2 counts guilty. So again, most people are emotional about this, but there are several people who are also taking this in a very funny light. For instance, 50 Cent highlighting that at the end of the day, for Diddy to get off without a life sentence, he is truly a bad boy.
Indeed. I saw his comments on Instagram. Yeah. Thank you so much, Kachi Ofia, for breaking it down to us tonight on the entertainment development. Now